Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap. For those of you that are new to the channel, I've been working with soap dough since 2016 and I've written 5 books on the topic. There's over 300 blog posts on soap and soap dough and I don't know, over 300 videos on soap dough and different soap dough techniques. And I wrote the books when there just weren't any books. There wasn't any information about soap dough. And so I thought, nah, I can't possibly be the first person to write a book on soap dough, and it turns out that I was. And that's hard to say because lots of people don't like for me to say that for some reason. I don't know why, but and because it's uncomfortable, and I don't really want to say it. But nonetheless, if you're new to the channel, watch the video and watch a couple of videos. I want to ask you, a lot of people ask you to sign up and like right when you're watching the video for the first time, which doesn't make any sense to me because I don't even know if I want to watch this continuously. So, take a peek around and see if you like it, and sign up and like, subscribe, all that stuff. Anyway, you're grown up hopefully and you understand. But today we're going to talk about stamps and stamping soap dough and some of the new stamps and the new ideas that are coming. And for those that aren't new to the channel, I wanted to give you some announcements. We've been quiet for the last few weeks. No real reason, just, the last part of winter probably. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that we're getting ready to order printed soap dough books. So if you're interested in even just one, just sign up. It says there's a little notification that says notify me, and you'll get an email the minute they're in stock. But it also goes to our back office and lets us know how many people want which type of books. So it gives us a better idea how to order. And anyway, so there's that. So these are some soaps that I've stamped. I just made these last week, I think. And then I stamped them within the first few days, and then I planed them off, which I'm going to show you how to do. This color here, I mixed black and white, Serious Black and Snow White soap dough, and made a little gray color to stick in there. And this whole new set is called Monsters. And there's some unicorns and Pegasus and Griffin, gargoyles, all types of stuff. So I test a lot of these on samples because I like to give samples out with every order, and these are different fragrance oils, and I put a little card in there and tell you what the fragrance oil name is, so that if you want it you can have it too. And anyway, these are the stamps, and there's a new design. The guy that makes our stamps for us has made a new design, which is kind of cool because they were a little bit domed on the back, but these now you can just use and grab and stamp, or you can use it with a handle which screws on, and then you can change it out. But if you don't want to keep changing it out or buy a handle for every single stamp, then you can just use it the way it is, which is pretty cool. So some of the things that I think you'll need to do this, to stamp this, is I use this to scrape my soap dough off. I'll show you how that works. Or you can use an upside down cookie cutter, a little sharp edge, something just to pull this off so you don't have to stop and wipe this off. You have a wet cloth, and then I have a dry cloth. And I sort of wanted to talk to you about how these monster stamps came about. And just thinking, this is obviously a Sasquatch. And it's not, this isn't a comment on what I believe. This is fiction, but legend too. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the nice thing about this. One of the reasons I started working with stamps is because, I make some pretty complicated soaps. If you haven't seen them, you could take a look on my Instagram channel, or even here. I've shown how to do some really complex soaps. And I realized that a lot of people aren't going to want to do that. And then I got interested in the stamps and thought, oh, I could design those. So, and I could do make some things that I don't see out there that I would like. So that's what I've been doing for the last year, is working on these soap stamps, which I didn't think was going to be a year-long project. But it turns out that I'm not the only one interested in soap stamps. And then it makes it, I don't know, I think they're fun. And I think that it's important to have a couple things that are fun in your life anyway. So I know that it's the tail end of winter, and we've had a pretty hard winter this year, and there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, and I figured if I think there's craziness, other people probably do too. I'm not going to comment on that because then I'll get canceled. Or maybe they don't even pay attention enough to me to cancel me. That's super possible. Anyway. Okay, so see, like I get, you get soap dough on your fingers and whatever, so you have to obviously wipe that off. So I just put a little bit of water on here to soften the soap dough up. And you can plane these too. I'm going to show you how to do that too, because planing them, these are large enough lines that you're not going to plane the stamp off if you're careful. If you don't want to be this fiddly, you can just pack it in and then plane them all off one at a time, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. I'm using the black on here, and it seems like it's never going to all come off, but it will. And there's a shadow on that back leg, and I could leave that on there. I don't even have to take that off if I don't want to, because it looks kind of cool, which I think I will leave it on. So I wanted to talk about the books for a second. The reason I was talking to my man today just about that and about the books, or was it last night? I don't remember. But I realized one of the reasons why I wrote these books is because I found most how-to books boring. And I didn't want to write a traditional how-to book. I just I want to learn material, but I don't want to learn it in such a boring way that I'm already uninspired by the time I get to the task. So I wrote the books the way I wanted to see a how-to book out there. I also put percentages in the recipes and the soap recipes, and all the soap recipes can be used for soap dough and or cold processed soap. And they're probably okay for hot processed soap, although I haven't experimented with each recipe for hot process. I have with soap dough and cold processed soap, and that's one of the same. It's just how you treat it and how to get a good pliable soap dough. Anyway, so I wrote all the books with the idea of inspiration. Now, so they're a little fantastical. I do study magical realism, so I love the idea of soap fairies and soap gremlins and sort of this unworldly thing, and I am inspired by some of that. So to this day, I mean, I don't know if this is okay to say or not, but if I get really uninspired, I can pick up one of my books and just be a little bit more inspired. And that says a lot, not to my ability or my talent. It just says a lot to the fact that when I was writing those books, I didn't feel like it was actually me. I felt like I was being helped. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's the reason I wanted those books to be in the world, because also I wanted an example of a fun how-to book, of a book that's going to inspire you, because anybody can teach you the fundamentals of something. Teach me, let's say, I'll put it in first person, teach me the fundamentals of something. But if after I've learned how to do the thing, if I don't want to do the thing, then what's the point? And I'm already bored. And I didn't want anybody to be bored. So more than anything, I didn't want to bore myself. And it takes months to write a book. So I wanted to get up every day and look forward to sitting down and what was going to show up. I mean, there's a lot of parts of writing a book that isn't necessarily fun, like editing and all that stuff, and thinking the whole process through and the best way to communicate that. So essentially that's that. I don't know. I was watching some YouTube stuff last night about some people that bought land and built off-grid house and all this kind of stuff. And I realized that's one of the reasons why, you know, some YouTube channels are fun, is because the people are authentic and they're inspired by their own life. So right now, I think it's really, really hard to be inspired, especially if you look at the news at all, because it's quite obvious that insane people are managing things, or they think they are, but they are clearly insane. So, and then I start to think, oh, I might have had the right end of the stick all this time. Yeah, you don't have to be as fiddly as I am with this. I'll show you, before we get too deep into this, I'll show you how to plane these off. So, there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you have a lot to do. So, but I really like this, where I just don't have to recreate something, and I can just sort of be futzy. I don't know how to say that. There. So then just drag your finger over it and wipe it off, and it'll sort of matte it out a bit. So I don't like this shadow right here. And the rest of it I don't mind. I don't mind this little thing. This is a really small one, and I remember pressing really hard on this, so. And that'll do, and then I'll clean it all up. So let's do the planing part off. I'll show you how that works. Oh gosh, sorry. Okay, so this is my setup for planing. I don't think that this guy makes these planers anymore, which is kind of too bad, but they don't have a sharp edge, and that's why I bought it, because I always tend to cut myself. And let's see, where are my things? So this is just a cookie sheet, and then I put it on an angle because it helps the way I do it. And I filled these in the other day. So you can wait or you not wait. I'll do the black one after I do the gray ones. So I filled these in the other day, and yeah. And it doesn't come off perfect, but so, and then I just go through and clean it up if I don't want to keep, taking this off. But I plane every single side if I can. Well, it depends. Anyway. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? And then I'll clean this up. So here's another one. So, and I mean, it's not a perfect science, but they come off pretty good. And then this is one I just did, so I'll show you how what that looks like. This is a really thin one. I don't want to take off too much, and it smears it kind of, especially when you just do it. So. And then I still go over it the same way. Oh yes, I know. I drop my tools and I make a ton of noise, which so yeah, we're getting ready to put in a big order for the book. So if you want a book, it'd be a good idea to sign up for Notify Me. And then again, that lets us know who wants what book, or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, hopefully. And if you want, the Notify Me works for every product on Sorcery Soap page. So anything. And then we go through and look at what everybody is saying they want. That's how we know to order books, actually. And the books take a minute to come in, so I have a pretty good publisher. And there you go. It's a little seahorse. Which at one point they used to think that seahorses were a figment of people's imaginations. But I don't know that we need science to prove that seahorses exist. I kind of think maybe there's some things that exist that I don't need somebody's permission to know that exist. So anyway, I hope this little video helps you, and I hope it helps you get a little bit more inspired. And if nothing else, then you know you have some information about the upcoming books, and you know I'm still around. I'm not going anywhere. I just took a hiatus. And thank you for watching. And now that you've seen what this is about, it's not perfect. We're not perfect over here. We're not even trying to be perfect. We're just trying to get some information out. And I don't play, you know, other people's games, so we're not going to be high ranked in YouTube, but we are moving over to Rumble. We're sort of, it takes a long time for that to happen because I have over 300 videos here, so I have one over there, so that's cool. And we're all over on Odyssey as well, but a lot of people don't follow Odyssey. I've been trying to promote it for years, and people just go to YouTube, you know. YouTube is largely controlled, so we'll leave it at that. And that's pretty much it. But again, now you know what's going on over here, and this is kind of a janky, get my feet wet again video, and to touch base with y'all and see how you are. You can leave your comments in the comment section, obviously, and then go over to Sorcery Soap and take a look and see if there's anything that you think will help you in the upcoming year. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.